Justice Brandeis wrote that the right to be left alone is the most cherished of rights, most prized among civilized men. The Fourth Amendment incorporates this right to privacy. The Fourth Amendment incorporates this right to be left alone. When we think about the bulk collection of records, you might ask, well, maybe I'm willing to give up my freedom for security. Maybe if I just give up a little freedom, I'll be more safe. Well, most of the information
we'll be back with more straight ahead in the response. It's time. Hey, we should have a debate about being beyond 1984. We don't even have a debate. Can we just debate and admit these illegal programs? And the response, of course, by the media is there are no illegal programs. None of this is happening. Just like they deny everything else, even when it's admitted. Remember what Gibbs, the White House press secretary, said? He was ordered to say that the drone program didn't exist when it was publicly admitted to exist. The drone assassination program. This is what they do. They lie. So let's go back and have him finish that opening statement. Then we're going to play what Congressman Peter King had to say.
You might ask, well, maybe I'm willing to give up my freedom for security. Maybe if I just give up a little freedom, I'll be more safe. Well, most of the information that comes on whether you're safe or not comes from people who have secret information that you're not allowed to look at. So you have to trust the people. You have to trust those in our intelligence community that they're being honest with you. That when they tell you how important these programs are and that you must give up your freedoms, you must give up part of the Fourth Amendment, when they tell you this, you have to trust them. The problem is that we're having a great deal of difficulty trusting these people.
That's right. And, of course, they lied to us about WMDs in Iraq. Saudi Arabia was involved in 9/11. That's been proven, bare minimum. And we attacked their enemy instead and now have given a third of Iraq and two-thirds of Syria basically now is in the control of ISIS. In fact, they just announced today that ISIS is, it looks like, going to go ahead and take over Syria probably. Notice they were losing a year ago, but went into Iraq, got resupplied, accidentally getting all the U.S. and NATO weapons, accidentally. And then now they're taking over. So see, all this surveillance, all this spying, and Al-Qaeda has morphed into something 50 times bigger than it was. Hundreds of thousands strong, allowed to recruit in the West. And Peter King, the neocon rhino monster, comes out and attacks Senator Paul and basically says that he's fear-mongering and that none of this is going on. Let's go to Peter King.
I strongly disagree with Rand Paul. I think the NSA is essential. I think that the NSA, first of all, I know they're not listening to anyone's phone calls or reading anyone's emails. What they do is they store collections of phone numbers, and so if you find out that an American has been speaking to a terrorist overseas, then the Justice Department goes to court to get a court order. The fact is that the NSA listens to no one's at all. They just collect this information. It's essential to our security. I think Rand Paul is wrong. I agree with Mitch McConnell. I think the law should have been extended as it is. I voted for the bill in the House because that's the only one we could get through. But I think Senator Paul is doing a disservice to the country when he makes these
let's stop right there. You have the DEA for 20 years recording phone calls, tracking who you call, creating phone trees without warrants, and then creating fake cases to go to court to then build a fraudulent prosecution. I mean, it's on record they've been recording 8 out of 10 phone calls for at least 5 years. It all got released by Snowden, but we already know that in a handful of cases, when they're going to go ahead with the prosecution, they go out and then get the warrant later to go back and reverse engineer it. But it's not pointed at terrorists. It's pointed at Congress, who they admit they've been spying on. And notice King says we need the NSA. No one ever said that we don't need an intelligence agency that spies on foreign governments in this world. We don't need it aimed at us and backdoored into everything. So everything they do is a misrepresentation. It's the same talking point. Here's Senator Marco Rubio last week saying there is no spying and there is no Atlantic Ocean. Here it is.
The perception has been created, including by political figures that serve in this chamber, that the United States government is listening to your phone calls or going through your bills as a matter of course. That is absolutely categorically false. The next time that any politician, senator, congressman, talking head, whatever it may be, stands up and says that the U.S. government is listening to your phone calls or going through your phone records, they're lying. It just is not true. Except for some very isolated instances in the hundreds of individuals for whom there is reasonable suspicion that they could have links to terrorism.
Really, I always have trouble pronouncing his name, but I like him as an actor, Shia LaBeouf. Before all the Snowden stuff came out, remember? He was on the set of GoldenEye in 2009, and the FBI admitted the Rockefeller Foundation, the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute, helped create the Hitler movement. We have the photos of Margaret Sanger addressing the Ku Klux Klan. I'm sick of the so-called left, these fascists, these anti-human people claiming that they're liberals. Thomas Jefferson was a liberal. You're not. You are a fraud. And so I'm watching the feed during the break, and I go, look, those are people with black signs blocking the families out there with their signs against abortion and the fact that half the black people in the country are exterminated. And they come with big black tarps. Guaranteed they're going to say they're anarchists, but then they'll tell you they love Lenin. I haven't even talked to them yet. And then they go and try to cover the signs up so no one can, and these aren't signs, pictures of dead babies, by the way, and that's your First Amendment. These are signs that simply show Margaret Sanger with the Ku Klux Klan and her quotes from the university archives. And these people have black tarps putting them up in front so that the passing cars can't see it. This is how dumb the followers of Sauron are. Is that they think it makes them look good to be trying to censor when we're talking to 3 million people right now on the radio, over 170 AM and FM affiliates, 5 million views every few days on YouTube, live feeds with about 200,000 people, last time I checked, watching our live video feed. You're not stopping anything. And by the way, this is about 10 minutes from where I'm at. I'm tempted to have David Knight come in here and take over. And I think that's David Knight's wife out there. That is David Knight's wife with them trying to block her. Either David Knight's going to have to go down there or I'm going to have to get him in here and I'm going to have to go down there because and by the way, we need to push it with these people. They don't have a right to get in people's faces and block their signs. That violates the First Amendment, and the police need to be called down there to stop them. We are peacefully down there simply engaging in the First Amendment, and these little monsters are there doing this. I'm going to get back to the NSA and the rest of it. But I'm telling you, these anarchists, these look like anarchists, trust fund kids who then run around and act like they're pirates all day. I'm going to guess they're going to say they're anarchists, but if you ask their political views, it'll be Marxist, Leninist. I don't know, but as soon as I saw them on the scene, I said, during the break, I said, they're going to block signs. That's operatives right there. And boom, sure enough, that's what they're doing. So I've seen this before. I've had anarchists in New York, anarchists in Austin, anarchists in, that just means George Soros funded groups in Denver, punch me in the back, you name it, do all sorts of stuff, and I'm just sick of them. I mean, we're out there exposing that they're targeting blacks for extermination. I mean, look at them, trying to block signs. Okay, we're going to go to Sha'Carri Jackson, and then I want him to march up to these guys. I see Josh Owens out there, and I want to ask these punks what they think they're doing violating the First Amendment. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this little guy right here. I mean, you talk about scum of the earth if you're watching us on TV. And look at him trying to block David Knight's wife. Let's call David Knight in here right now, too. Let's get him a seat in here. I haven't seen him this morning, but I'm sure he's in his office working on something to see what he thinks of this. This is surreal. Now, let's go ahead and we'll go to Sha'Carri Jackson in a live feed. I mean, look at how pathetic and desperate these drag rats are with their pants hanging down around their butts. Because, see, that's their tip to the, the whole ghetto culture. But then, meanwhile, they're upset that we don't want black people to be chopped up. I mean, look at these rodents. I mean, you talk about true rodent-like creatures. And I'm sorry, folks, this is what they are. They just look like human rats. Let's go ahead now, these white rats. Let's go ahead now and, I mean, just look at how weak they are. Jakari Jackson, what do you make of this?
Jakari Jackson reporting live, Austin, Texas, in front of the Planned Parenthood. I believe this is 201 East Ben White Boulevard, and I want you guys to follow me over here. We have about 25 or so peaceful demonstrators behind me, but now we have these guys running around their black tarps. I'm going to see if I can get a word. Hey, excuse me, gentlemen, what brings you out here today?
Ask who they work for. Get in his face.
Hey, excuse me. What brings you guys out here today?
How about you being aggressive? I'll talk to you.
I'm being aggressive. You guys are covering everybody's signs.
See, that's how they
blocking
operate.
Traffic.
Yeah.
So as you can see, this gentleman is trying to post up his sign.
The leader's
They're
the
blocking
little-
him, and they're saying that I'm being aggressive for trying to ask them a
The
question.
leader's the little rat one. That's the one on the
Hey,
phone.
look, hey, you're being aggressive to that guy. Hey, keep your hands
Yeah,
off
the
that
police
guy. You
need to
said
get
I'm
out
being
there.
Aggressive. Don't be aggressive to him. So what brings you guys out here today?
They want
Are
to
you
stop
working
the
for any
First
particular
Amendment.
Organization? All right, as you can see, they're clearly harassing this gentleman, and they're saying that we're being aggressive for coming out here and signs.
They're trying to block him with his sign.
Yeah, let the guy stand with
They
the
want to
sign.
make sure those women get
Let's
in
see if
there.
this gentleman's, let's see if this evil sign says abortion is child murder. Okay.
That's
you
all
see
it is.
Yeah, the guy was just trying to tell people the truth. Thank you, sir, for coming
No
out
dead
here.
babies,
What
no
do you-
nothing.
What do you think about this this agitation that's going on out here?
It's just, I mean, come on. They're being told to do it by somebody.
All right, sir, thank you for coming out. All right, so you saw it right there, Alex. We'll move on back down. Now they're agitating this this lovely lady down here, trying to block her sign.
We need all patriots that are listening to get down there now and to join us in the First Amendment against these rodents. I mean, just
What do you
look
think
at how
about all these
slimy
people
these
trying to
guys
block
are.
your signs?
I think it's not fair at all because as an American, I have the right to express my opinion, as do they. And if they want to get some signs that express their opinion, they're more than happy to be out here.
Totalitarian
like we are.
turds.
But to try and block my right as an American for free speech and to express my opinion to people is just not right.
That's right.
And fair.
Thank you, miss. Did you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I'm with her. I mean, I just, I have a right to express my viewpoints. And
Hey, look, I'm sorry. Look, they're attacking this guy.
Aggressive.
They're up here throwing their tarp on the gentleman.
Yeah, here's
They're
what's going to
saying that
happen.
he's being
They
aggressive.
want to get the cops called, and then they're going to blame us. We need to go ahead and have somebody call it in. We got video, all of it. Then they put one cop there. There should be a cop there anyways. Then that will
Here
stop
comes
their
APD.
activities.
APD's here right now.
Good.
APD's here.
Well, you tell them you've got the footage and shut down those totalitarian pieces of crap.
Well, don't stop now. The cops just got here. Keep doing whatever you're doing.
Oh, look at them. They're actually jumping on him right there. And they were getting in your wife's face.
See, you see now that APD
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and turn David
now
Knight's
they're
mic
going
on.
to leave.
David Knight is in studio. David Knight, what do you make watching them harass your wife?
If they think they're going to stop her, Alex, they don't know my wife. You could see her. She was going below their sign, above their sign. It was kind of funny, actually. But, I think what that lady said
go over
was
here.
exactly right. If they've got a different point of view, put their point of view on a sign. Put it out there. You have different views out there. But the mindset of the left or the authoritarians or the anarchists, whoever they
I
are.
call them the left, too.
Yeah.
They are totalitarian
Yeah.
scum.
Yes.
They're trying to shut down our freedoms. I'm sick of them.
They don't want to debate. They don't want to come out there with their sign against what we're putting up there. They want to silence other people. That's the whole point.
That's
I
right.
think it's fitting that they have black signs.
Jakari, what's happening now?
So the officer just arrived on scene.
But we're not blocking the way. They're letting him through and all that. He assaulted me over here.
He assaulted me.
It looks like he's just provocateur, to be very honest with you. But I
Yeah.
think he's for the cause. He's just an agitated. He looked like an agitated vet. That's what he looks like. Just look like, okay, just talk to him.
Who's that guy? Is he a pro-lifer or is he with them?
There was a dude in a wheelchair over there that was claiming that y'all were blocking the sidewalk. And I was like, no, they're not blocking the sidewalk. If you ask them to move, they will move.
I told
But
you, that's what they're
assaulted
there.
me.
They're there blaming us for
That
stuff.
same dude
Yeah.
assaulted me with his wheelchair after some
Here come these guys again.
nice person squirted holy water out of a palm olive bottle at me.
This just happened?
It just happened over here. That's why I turned my phone on. I was like, let me see what's going on over here. I actually came down here. I was on my way to my friend's house. I was explaining to somebody over there. I went to school right up the street up here. I went to school